Welcome to today's Ukraine War Update for July 16, 2026. Today's biggest story came not from the front, but from inside Ukraine's own government. President Zelensky dismissed his defense minister, Mykhailo Fedorov. At just 35, Fedorov was one of the youngest people ever to hold the job, and, crucially, he was the architect of Ukraine's army of drones, the very program behind the deep strikes that have filled these updates for weeks. He lasted barely 6 months. According to lawmakers from Zelensky's own party, he was pushed out after clashing with Ukraine's old guard military leadership, including the Commander-in-Chief Oleksandr Syrskyi, over how to reform conscription and mobilization. Zelensky moved to replace him with the Interior Minister Ihor Klymenko, a former police general of a far more traditional caste. And the decision landed badly on the streets. Protests broke out in Kyiv and other cities, with crowds chanting, "Bring Fedorov back!" It is a rare, public crack in Ukraine's wartime leadership, and it came, pointedly, just days after Ukraine signed a landmark drone production deal with the European Union, in the very field Fedorov made his name. The war itself did not pause for the politics. Russia lost another 1,340 soldiers in a day, and more than 1,800 drones, pushing its cumulative losses past 1,424,000, and its drone tally beyond 411,000. And Russia kept up its own strikes. Overnight, ballistic missiles hit Kyiv, killing 2 people and wounding several more, including a child, and setting a warehouse ablaze, hours before Britain's Prime Minister was due in the city to meet Zelensky. In the south, Zaporizhzhia was battered again, hundreds of drones and guided bombs over the day, a residential block torn open, and several killed. The capital and the frontline cities alike are still under fire. Ukraine hit back deep inside Russia. In one of its larger raids, its drones ranged across the country. Moscow's mayor reported more than 200 over the capital region alone, and Russia claimed to have shot down 375 in all. The standout target was Engels, home to Russia's fleet of strategic, nuclear-capable bombers, where a fire broke out at the airbase. But not every drone found a military target. In the Bryansk region, one killed 2 civilians, a 15-year-old girl and her grandmother. On the ground, Pokrovsk stayed the busiest sector. And that southern advance near Mariupol that Russia trumpeted a day earlier? Independent analysts at the Institute for the Study of War say it produced no confirmed gains. Ukrainian troops counterattacked, and Russia's summer offensive is still crawling forward at barely a kilometer a day. For now, the line holds. That wraps up today's update. If you found this useful, press the like button and subscribe in order to support this channel. Stay informed, stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.